Hello YouTube. I know I haven't posted a new video on my channel in a while, so what have I been up to? Well, I have started a new hobby of collecting 1980s computers. So, I'm going to, well, show off my newest one, and then maybe go down from there if this video gets a lot of likes or a lot of views. I might continue by showing off the rest of my small collection. So, which computer am I going to show you today? Well, I'm going to show you the Apple IIe from 1984. This computer was, or is, a part of the well-known Apple II line of computers started back in 1977. This is, I believe, the third computer in the line, starting at the original Apple II, going up to the Apple II Plus, and then next was the Apple IIe. So, I also have a disk drive along with it, which is currently not working, unfortunately, and I am currently troubleshooting the main board inside. Here's the main board here. I'm still currently troubleshooting. There is some corrosion present inside of the drive itself, but I still haven't gotten down to the bottom of the problem. So along with this drive, I also got the Disk 2 interface card, which I really don't know how rare they are. I'm assuming they're kind of hard to find, but I've got one nevertheless. So yes, this is my current favorite of the collection, but let's pop off the lid and show you what's inside. So here is the inside after I have popped off the lid. So you can see all of the various expansion slots here, along with the auxiliary slot here for the 80 columns display card, along with some RAM and other options that can go in there. Here's the power supply, which I have yet to do anything to this computer, so this is still has the original capacitors and other things. And I don't know if I will be doing a restoration on that. If I do, I probably won't be putting it on YouTube, so the power supply. This has actually been upgraded to the enhanced option, so the CPU, which I believe, yes, is this chip here. This is the CPU, the 6502 processor. This since this has been upgraded to the enhanced option, this is not just a 6502, this is the 65C02. So it has been, this Apple II Enhanced has been enhanced, if you would like to put it that way. So, got all the various chips and such here, the RAM's over here, the video ROM as it states on the board, and the wonderful Apple logo there on the board. Sorry about the bad lighting, by the way. I'm using a lamp that's kind of far away and is kind of difficult to move. So sorry about that. But the funny thing is that this is not an earlier model, I can tell you that, but the weird thing is about this is that, I guess I could say the funny thing is that this board has a copyright date of 1982. I doubt you can see that, but it's up here. Yeah, you can't see it. But it says copyright 1982, which is kind of interesting. Even though I think it came out officially in 1984, this particular one looks like, according to the date codes on most of the chips, it's from mid-83. but I'm not sure. If anybody can tell me in the comments, you're welcome to do so. But besides the point, let's put the cover back on, and I'll show you the back of the machine. So here's the back of the machine. Not much back here. A bunch of slots for various cards and such you can add to this thing. Your power cord, your on switch, power switch, whatever you'd like to call it. Your video output, your cassette in and out, and also the paddle port, and also possibly a joystick could go here too. Not sure, because obviously this thing is relatively new to me, and I haven't done much research involving that particular port. If you're wondering, this machine does work, so here in a moment I will hook this up, and I will power it on and show you it working. Alright, so I've got the Apple II hooked up to a monitor, or this is actually a television, since unfortunately I do not have an original Apple monitor to go with it, but one day I shall get one, and that is my next mission, so I can complete the set, along with hopefully getting this disk drive I have working, or finding a working one somewhere. Anyways, so without any further ado, let's turn on this Apple IIe, and I'll show you around. So, since I do not have the disk 2 interface card hooked up, it just goes right into the boot screen, I guess you could call it, where it has the Apple IIe logo at the top, since it is the enhanced version of the Apple II Enhanced. Of course, if it wasn't enhanced, it would just say Apple II, like the original Apple II did. Anyway, so here's our cursor, and I can type around a bit. One feature that I'm going to start with that I think kind of gets neglected, and I think it's kind of a cool feature in my opinion, but is the first thing I'm going to point out is it has a nice kind of self-test feature, and you access that by hitting Control closed Apple and reset button, and then it goes into color graphics, low res color graphics mode, and does this pixel thing, and this is the self-test. I think it's kind of overlooked in most videos, and I thought I would show it off. And see, the system's okay, according to the test. And in order to get out of it, you hit the reset. Control reset to get back to the normal screen. So let's run the classic Hello World program here. I'm going to turn on the caps locks. And let's run. And there you go, the classic Hello World loop program. Anyways, we can also do Home to clear the screen, and let's do one more program. So I've cleared the memory now by hitting New. And okay, now I need to clear the screen here. And so let's do the last program I mentioned. I'm just gonna I need to put a line number. We're gonna do this. And so what this is going to do is it's just going to count infinitely until it overflows. So here we go. Let's give it a try. And there we go. It's counting away. Anyways, I'm not going to let this go for too long because it'll get boring eventually. So let's go ahead and stop that and clear the screen. Now, I'm not going to get to the color graphics or any graphics capabilities in this video. If you'd like for me to do a video demonstrating some of the things you can do with the color graphics, both high res and low res, please leave a comment down below if you want to see that. And well, I guess this is the end of the video. Before I end this video, I thought that I would show you the manuals I got for it. These did not come with the machine I have. I bought these separately because I thought it'd be appropriate because, you know, with a machine that I have just gotten, it makes sense to get the various manuals that go with it. So let's start off with the actual owner's manual here. Let's put this one up to the side. So the first one here is obviously the owner's manual, as I have previously stated. And, you know, it has this kind of nice thing where it has this cover here. They're supposed to tuck in here when in use. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. And so, you know, here's the manual. It's explaining all the various parts, like the processor, the auxiliary slot, like I mentioned before, and the power supply and other things. The only things I didn't point out were the connectors they mentioned down here, the keyboard input connector and the game I/O connector, and RF modulator connector. But those are a little bit, yeah, those weren't the important parts. You know, it shows, you know, setup instructions if I were the original owner of this. It has a bunch of neat information about the machine. It also has like a little dictionary in the back for various terms mentioned in the book. And you know, it also runs through all the different programs that you can run. Like it mentions that it came with a version of DOS, a DOS boot up disk. Originally, it came with that. I believe it was DOS 3.3 that it originally came with, and it shows you how to use the disk drive and such. That's about it. It goes in a little bit of depth about the operating system and some other bits and pieces here, like the accessories. See, there's the monitor. Here's the whole, more like here's the whole entire setup. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, before I ramble on too long about this book, let's move on to the reference manual. Let's talk about the reference manual here, which also has the same cover thing that you tuck in the back. So let's go ahead and do so. There we go. And this goes into more depth about the memory and how the memory works, how the ROMs work, and talks about all the memory locations that you can access and write programs to. And it also briefly, actually quite in depth, actually, of how to program in machine language. Well, it's the native language of the 6502, don't know if you really want to call it machine language, but that's kind of what I call it, even though I do not believe that is the correct term. Yeah, it also talks about, programming for various things like peripheral cards and such. Also has the schematic, wonderful schematics, which will be useful if this thing ever quits working. And it's not really that complicated of a beast. It's kind of your typical 80s computer. Early 80s computer, I should say. And I'm sure it is somewhat similarly built to the original Apple II, along with the Apple II Plus. So, that's about it. Yeah. So, I guess this is the end of the video. So, I hope you enjoyed. If you liked this video, please leave a like. And if you didn't enjoy the video, please leave a dislike, whatever you want to do. And if you enjoy my channel, please subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.